It happened on Sunday after Christmas, the last Sunday they ever played in Longpuddle Church Gallery, as it turned out, though they didn't know it then. There was Nicholas Puddingcombe, the leader, with the first fiddle. There was Timothy Thomas, the bass viol man, John Biles, the tenor fiddler, Daniel Oned with the serpent, Robert Dowdle with the clarionet, and Mr. Nix with the oboe. sound and powerful musicians, and strong-winded men, they that blowed. For that reason, they were very much in demand Christmas week for little reels and dancing parties. Well, this Christmas, they'd been out to one rattling randy after another, and they got next to no sleep at all. Then came the Sunday after Christmas, their fatal day. 'Twas so mortal cold that year that they could hardly sit in the gallery. So Nicholas said at morning service, when 'twas freezing an inch an hour, "Please the Lord, I won't stand this numbing weather no longer. This afternoon we'll have something in our insides to make us warm, if it cost a king's ransom." So he brought a gallon of hot brandy and beer, ready mixed, to church with him in the afternoon. And by keeping the jar well wrapped up in Timothy Thomas's base vial bag, it kept drinkably warm till they wanted it, which was just a thimbleful in the absolution, and another after the creed, and the remainder at the beginning of the sermon. When they'd had the last pull, they felt quite comfortable and warm, and as the sermon went on, most unfortunately for them, it was a long one that afternoon, they fell asleep, every man jack of 'em, and there they slept on as sound as rocks. It was a very dark afternoon, and by the end of the sermon, all you could see of the inside of the church were the parson's 2 candles alongside of him in the pulpit, and his speaking face behind him. The sermon being ended at last, the parson gave out the evening hymn, but no choir set about sounding up the tune, and the people began to turn their heads to learn the reason why. And then Levi Limpet, a boy who sat in the gallery, nudged Timothy and Nicholas and said, "Begin, begin." "Hey, what?" says Nicholas, starting up. And the church being so dark, and his head so muddled, he thought he was at the party they played at all the night before. And away went bow and fiddle at the Devil Among the Tailors, the favourite jig of our neighbourhood at that time. The rest of the band, being in the same state of mind and nothing doubting, followed their leader with all their strength according to custom. They poured out that there tune till the lower bass notes of the Devil Among the Tailors made the cobwebs in the roof shiver like ghosts. And then Nicholas, seeing nobody moved, shouted out as he scraped, in his usual commanding way at dances when the folk didn't know the figures, "Top couples cross hands, and when I make the fiddle squeak at the end, every man kiss his partner under the mistletoe." Well, then the folks come out of their pews saying, "What do they mean by such wickedness? We shall be consumed like Sodom and Gomorrah." Then the squire come out of his pew with green baize, where lots of lords and ladies visiting at the house were worshipping along with him, and went and stood in front of the gallery and shook his fist in the musicians' faces, saying, "What in this reverent edifice? What?" And at last they heard him through their playing and stopped. "Never such an insulting, disgraceful thing, never," says the squire, who couldn't rule his passion. "Never," says the parson, who'd come down and stood beside him. "Not if the angels of heaven," says the squire. He was a wickedish man, the squire was, though now for once he happened to be on the Lord's side. "Not if the angels of heaven come down," he says, "shall one of you villainous players ever sound a note in this church again, for the insult to me and my family and my visitors and God Almighty that you've perpetrated this afternoon." Then the unfortunate church band came to their senses and remembered where they were. And 'twas a sight to see Nicholas Puddingham and Timothy Thomas and John Biles creep down the gallery stairs with their fiddles under their arms, and poor Daniel Orned with his serpent, and Robert Dowdle with his clarionet, all looking as little as 9 pins, and out they went. The parson might have forgiven him when he learned the truth of it, but the squire would not. That very week he sent for a barrel organ that would play 22 new psalm tunes, so exact and particular that however sinful inclined you was, you could play nothing but psalm tunes whatsoever. He had a really respectable man to turn the winch, as I said, and the old players played no more.